So I just went over to film the banner of Mill Road for People, as I woke up this morning and been alerted to the fact that they put up this huge banner, and decided, well, I had an hour or so to spare before I had to get to work, so I thought I would go there. And they didn't want to be recorded, which I find, well, it's understandable. They don't want to be recorded, but I think, this is just me, I think that if you're campaigning to change the public space and you're campaigning to influence politics, you should be open to being recorded, because people have a right to know what you think or what you're saying. And all I would do with the recording is to share it with other people who were not there, so that they can make up their own mind. I'm not here to try to tell anybody what to think, but people who campaign for things which are controversial and refuse to be recorded are, in my view, sort of slightly suspicious, especially when it's such a controversial issue. And so anyway, you'll see from the video, I mean, let me just stop this here. Here's the video that you can see that I managed to get. Let's see how that went. Here it is. I'll cut it in here. Okay, right, I'm stopping.
Don't like fascist cyclists stopping me from driving the car.
Do you get that a lot?
No, hardly ever. That's actually the first one today.
It was only just in this, like I said, if you're doing a kind of a campaign to change the environment,
Yeah.
then you should expect that people want to ask questions and sort of challenge your...
Anybody can ask
Yeah,
questions.
but why shouldn't it be recorded? Because then it can be shared and more people can know about it, and people can make up their own minds instead of like trying to control what people think.
Why are you so doesn't want to be recorded? That's the end of it.
Okay, all right, fine. We're not going to do that.
I mean, there's no point even discussing it.
Okay, fine. Well, there you go. That's what you get out of that. Not very much. But I think that the two different points of view coming together and talking about it in a more congenial and sort of conversational capacity would definitely be useful. I would advocate for that, and I'll accept that I can be, in her words, confrontational, but I'm never hostile, and I am totally open to conversation and listening to other people's points of view. and I'll continue to reach out to the different parties. We should do that. Understand one another, because this has been an extremely divisive and sort of controversial topic. So you see, I didn't record them. I had some conversations with them, which obviously went around the same kind of motions as normal, about climate change, about health, road safety, about pedestrian safety and cycle safety and things like that. And but I suppose the main point I'm trying to make here is there are arguments on both sides, for or against, and a lot of the things that Mill Road for People say as their arguments can be argued against. And until you actually put those two arguments sort of head to head and allow people to hash it out, people around who haven't made up their mind yet are less informed. And this is the reason why in a sort of democratic society it's important to have public debates, because you allow people whose minds are not made up or who are not really that informed on the subject to form an opinion by listening to the 2 points of view argue against each other. And so that's what I've been angling for. I mean, I asked the same thing from CamCycle, and they don't want to be interviewed either. But now I think it's important that Mill Road for People, and if they don't want to do it with me, that's fine. They don't trust me, that's fine. Some other mediator. But the 2 points of view, the arguments of Mill Road for People should be put against those who don't agree with them, and you can actually examine the evidence that their claims are based on, or bring up some other evidence that might refute their claims. And until we actually come together and allow ourselves to have a genuine open debate, this is never going to go anywhere. It's not healthy for a democracy or a society. Mill Road is like a village. It's a very small community, and for it to be divided like this is not good, but also for the two sides to refuse to actually talk to each other is also not good. So this is me again reaching out the hand of sort of friendship and understanding to Mill Road for People, and let's have a conversation, a debate, a congenial public debate. If you want to have a mediator, that's fine, but I do think that there is a public interest in having a debate. Because there were a lot of things that were said to me just then on the bridge. When you're in the thick of it, you can't necessarily argue against it. But there are arguments for their road closure that you could easily argue against. You know, like for example, she's saying that when the rain comes, as last night, the road gets chock-a-block, which is true. Now, but how is closing the bridge going to help that? Because the roads are still going to be chock-a-block, but they're going to have less access to get home, so they're all going to have to pile onto Coldham's Lane or Hills Road or whatever. So while you've rescued Mill Road from gridlock, you've made it worse somewhere else. So how do you answer that? And why is it okay for the residents of Mill Road to make the residents of Coldham's Lane suffer or Coleridge Road suffer? What do you say to that? And my battery's died. Anyway, I don't need to go on and on and on. The point is that there are arguments on both sides, and I think, and I will put the call out again, there must be some people in Mill Road for People who are prepared to sit across from me or people like me and have a debate about it. You know, we'll orchestrate it, we'll keep it under control, we won't slag each other off, and we will allow the audience and the members of the general public to observe that debate and form their own opinion. What's wrong with that? I think that that's healthy for a democracy. What do you think?